Today we'll begin with lesson number 4, section 3, the microscope. In poetry, words form sounds, images, and ideas. Today, as we learn the poem, The Microscope, let's get familiar with rhyming words. Students, what are rhyming words? When two or more words that have the same ending sound. Students, can you please open your book to page 85? Yes, we can see the words like such, Dutch, fast, dust, things, wings, lies, mice, hop, drop, Spain, brain, drink, think, dope, microscope. Students, on the screen we can see the pictures of the first microscope. Who invented the microscope? S. Dutch spectacle maker Zacharias Janssen. N. Hans Lippershey are noted as the first man to develop the concept of compound microscope by placing different types and sizes of lenses in opposite ends of the tubes. They discovered that small objects were enlarged. What do you mean by enlarged? Big in size. As students, here we have displayed a picture of poet MAXINE Kumin, born in 1925 in Philadelphia. As a teenager, Kumin was trained to become an Olympic swimmer, but she abandoned. What do you mean by abandoned? To leave this dream on entering Radcliffe College. She received a bachelor's degree in 1946 and a master's in 1948, both from Radcliffe College, but did not begin writing seriously until her late 20s, when she turned to poetry for self-gratification. Gratification means self-satisfaction. Students, on the screen we can see the picture of Anton Leeuwenhoek. Who is Anton Leeuwenhoek and what did he discover? The poem, The Microscope, is an interesting poem written by the poet MAXINE Kumin, which tells the story of Anton Leeuwenhoek, who improved on the microscope. Anton Leeuwenhoek was a Dutch businessman and a scientist in the golden age of Dutch science and technology. A largely self-taught man in science, he is commonly known as the father of microbiology. In the 1670s, He started to explore microbial, meaning related to microorganism life with his microscope. Leeuwenhoek is considered the founder of the study of microscopy and played a vital means important role in the development of cell theory. The theme of the poem, The Microscope. The central idea of the poem is that all science, when it is first developed, seems crazy to those who are interested only in what is immediately relevant to them. Relevant means closely connected. It is only the great innovators and geniuses. Geniuses means a person who is talented, who can continue to work despite the disapproval of those around them, who actually advance our world. Like Anton Leeuwenhoek, the man described in the poem. The microscope suggests that innovation requires genius and that a genius is rarely understood by his contemporaries. It was necessary for Anton Leeuwenhoek to neglect his life as a shopkeeper for inventing means devising a machine that could help him examine the unseen, minute, that is small, details of the natural world. Innovators means a person who create new ideas are not understood or appreciated until their efforts are proven to be of use. In fact, the speaker observes that Leeuwenhoek was called dummkopf by those unimaginative who are interested in the practicalities of life. Students, let's begin with the poem The Microscope. Anton Leeuwenhoek was Dutch. He sold pincushions, cloth and such. The waiting townsfolk fumed and fast as Anton's dry goods gathered dust. In the first stanza, the poet says Leeuwenhoek sold pincushions. What are pincushions? Pincushions means things made with needlework, cloth and such similar things. The poet says that Leeuwenhoek neglected his occupation, that is selling things, in order to begin grinding lenses for a microscope. The townsfolk were not interested in his scientific advancement. They were only interested in why their store was not open to provide them with their day-to-day necessities. The people who lived in the town were fumed, that is, angry, as Leeuwenhoek's goods gathered dust. In other words, Leeuwenhoek was not interested in selling pincushions, that is, the needlework or cloth. He worked instead of tending to at grinding special lenses for a microscope. Some of the things he looked at were mosquitoes' wings, the hair of sheep, the legs of flies, the skin of people, dogs and mice, ox eyes, spiders' spinning gear, fish's scale, a little smear of his own blood, and best of all, the unknown, busy, very small bugs that swim and bump and hop inside a simple water drop. In the second stanza, tells us that Leeuwenhoek, instead of taking care, that is, tending the stove, Leeuwenhoek was grinding special lenses for a microscope. Possessed, meaning influenced by the spirit of science, Leeuwenhoek spends his time examining everything. Things like mosquitoes' wings, hair of sheep, legs of flies, skin of people, dogs and mice, ox eyes, spiders' gear, fishing scales, and his own blood. He can think of observing everything under the lenses, from fish scales to his own blood, to bugs so small they are hidden within a water drop. Impossible, most Dutchmen said. This Anton's crazy in the head. We ought to ship him off to Spain. He says he's seen a housefly's brain. He says the water we drink is full of bugs. He's mad, we think. They called him Dumkopf, which means dope. That's how we got the microscope. Poet MAXINE KUMIN. In the last two stanzas, the town folks, irritated by the scientist departing from his everyday duty of selling pincushions and cloth, he is accused of being crazy, that is, mad. They say he should be shipped off, that is, taken to Spain, and called him dope. Just because Leeuwenhoek could observe a housefly's brain and bugs in the water that we drink, he did it with the help of the microscope. Leeuwenhoek was not appreciated or understood until his microscope was proved useful. Self-analysis means self-examination. Students, do you desire to be a poet when you grow up?